Welcome back to Comic Shop Talk, everybody, on the Late Night Collectors community. I'm your host, Nico, and joined with me today, as always, is my co-host, Chris. How you doing, man?
Hey, not too bad, Nico. How are you?
I'm okay, just still coming down off the high, I think, from last night's Lucha Libre that me and Chris just showed
Boom shaka lucha.
Boom Shaka Lucha, a wrestling show in the city here. Me and Chris actually just went to yesterday, which was a lot of fun. So, yeah, if you want to hear us talk about some wrestling, track down those episodes that we did over on the Late Night Chat Network here, our sister channel over there, where we did an episode talking about wrestling and things like that. And maybe you'll be able to hear more about that in the future from us. We do have some upcoming announcements of shows. Actually, I think we are going to be doing over in the Late Night Chat Network stuff. So stay tuned, guys, if you are interested to check us out over there. But you're here to hear us talk about comics here today, and Comic Shop Talk, of course, as always. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, guys. If it's your first time checking out the show, definitely tune in and subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit us up in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of when these shows do come out. Or you can follow us on Instagram at Late Night Collectors Community to be notified of when the shows do drop. By the time this show does come out, we do actually have a new episode of Cracking Packs with the Chat, our other show that we do here on Late Night Collectors Community, where we open up cards. We're going to be doing one on the new Tim Hortons hockey cards here, coming up probably a couple of days after this show is posted. So that's going to be coming out on Tuesday, October. I think it's the 26th or 7th, I want to say. Let's see here, October 25th. So if you guys are interested in checking that out, we'll be doing that live on October 25th at 8:30 p.m. here on the Late Night Collectors Community. We'll be opening up lots and lots of packs of these hockey cards, guys. We got a few people involved in that show, and that's always a fun time. And definitely check out that, as well as our other shows and playlists here on the channel. Big spoiler warning here for you today, guys. We're going to be talking about what happens in some of these books on the show here today. We're going to be giving away some of the details of what happened in them. We're going to be showing off some of the preview art from the book, so something could get spoiled. Just be forewarned. We try to stay away from the big spoilers sometimes, depending on what goes on in them. And we're going to be talking about the new comics that came out for the week of October 19th, 2022 today. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think all the promos are out there, Chris. We've talked about our wrestling escapade as of yesterday, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, what do you got to say there, Chris?
All right, let's talk comics.
Let's talk some comics. There we go. I think I've gotten a lot better and faster at getting through all that stuff at the start of the show. Hopefully. All right, here we go. First up, we got Deceased War of the Undead Gods number 3. First up on the docket here today. All right, Chris, what'd you think of this one?
Well, this one's pretty good. I'm still enjoying this Deceased universe. I think this one here, more of a backstory of what's going on, I guess, in this world. And it looks like they're getting ready for battle. I'm looking forward to the next issue. I know I got to talk about the main man showing up in there. Got to like that.
I was gonna say, hey, you're forgetting somebody. I thought you'd be a little bit more excited for Lobo showing up there. That pastiche.
That's it. I hope he plays a major role in the upcoming battles, because he looks like he's immune to the virus or whatever is getting him.
Yeah, well, Lobo has like a crazy healing factor. He's like Wolverine or something like that. You know what I mean? So like I'm not surprised that he's immune to being infected by these guys in this story. There's a couple characters that have had the luxury of not being affected by them throughout the other Deceased miniseries prior to this one. So it's cool to see that. It's actually cool to see Lobo, like the old Lobo.
Yeah, that's another thing I was gonna say. They brought back, I guess, the original type of Lobo, not so much some of these newer ones that have, well, maybe not newer ones, but other versions I've seen out there that I've been super hyped about.
Yeah, there was one that like they came out with during the New 52, I think, like maybe a few years ago now, that was kind of like a glammed up, like skinny Lobo. Like it was weird. Like it was not rock, like chains and like crazy hair type of Lobo. You know what I mean? So like there was a lot of Lobo fans that were upset by that at the time. And that was one of those things, the decisions of I kind of agreed with the fans of that one. I'm like, I don't know why you would try to change the design of this character when it works so well, right? I mean, sure, yeah, he's of the 90s, but like whatever. Lobo's pretty awesome.
He's great.
This whole scene of him lighting up the smoke and then blowing in his face, I was like, That was awesome, man. So like I was really happy to see him show up in this. And like I said, like just the Lobo of old as I remember him. And it's been a while since I think he's like one of those characters I don't feel that gets used all that often. So when he does show up, it's cool to see him.
That's it. Loved
Yeah,
it.
the Adam Strange part was cool too at the start with the Zeta beams and him phasing out and the family being in trouble there. I thought that was really interesting. And
Yeah, and the way he came back as I guess what are these zombies, or I don't even know what this virus is, but they're kind of like zombies when they come back, aren't they?
yeah, it's like a techno virus type thing of some sort,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, essentially, like it's they do essentially become zombies. Zombies is just the easier way to explain it, but yeah, that's but then I guess by the end of this issue, they're trying to say it's not what we thought it was so far, and it seems like there's a lot of big players now coming into the uh,
yeah,
forefront, I guess, that weren't in previous miniseries prior to this. Now we're focusing on all like the big characters from other places around the DC universe, not just the ones that are like, you know what I mean, like when like the new gods and people that are like the space characters and like things like this are now, you know, coming into the mix. So while they think they've already solved the issue and they've cured the disease, let's say, now it seems like it's when Ares shows up there, God of War towards the end, like saying it's like you guys don't even know what you're dealing with actually.
yeah.
So they're gonna raise the stakes, it looks like, for the second half of this miniseries, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I love Deceased. I think it's a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
so what'd you give this one then?
I give it a 3.75. I thought it was a good issue. You know, the cover was a bit misleading though, like expecting some super battle there that didn't come to fruition, let's say, but I did enjoy the comic.
3.75, man. It didn't even break a 4 for you with the Lobo appearance. I'm surprised, man.
Not until he gets into the business there, you know.
I love this issue. I thought it was an excellent issue. This is probably my favorite of this miniseries, the Undead Gods, so far. I would give this a 4.25. This issue, I think it was really, really a lot of fun. I thought it had some good scenes in it. So, all right, next up, Flashpoint Beyond number 6. Chris, can you explain to me what the hell happened here?
I
Chris,
don't know.
you want to take a stab at what happened to this miniseries, man? Like, I honestly, I remember us talking about this like halfway through, being like, "This is really good," and then
Yeah.
like, the last couple of
Once
issues,
they tried to like make it relevant or whatever they wanted to do with it, then that's where this went off the rails. Like all this stuff that's going on with Batman and I guess the Joker. But once they start talking about, you know, that world that they're in, being stuck in that little bottle, and you got all those time cops talking with Bruce, that kind of threw it out for me. But you know, the ending, well, not the ending of the issue, but sort of the ending of this Bruce or Thomas Wayne story, at least was decent because they're still around, and you know they're fighting the Krypton, so maybe they can just, you know, use this as whatever they needed, whatever vehicle they needed this to be to bring back those 13 people and this nostalgia or whatever in those last few pages. But like, looks like this Flashpoint Beyond still has some legs to it.
that's the part that really confused me. And I saw that there was an article floating around addressing those 13 people or whatever that came from DC's past. And maybe that's so Jeff Johns, the writer's intention was to basically bring these characters back in a way by doing so. And I
Yeah,
know that he's going to be doing the JSA, for instance, and stuff like that. But like, um, it just seemed like such a hokey kind of like explanation of how, like, and like you said, like they really lost me in the explanation of how all that unfolded, and it really felt like while that was the B story, where the A story was the Batman stuff, the Thomas Wayne stuff, it felt like at times during this miniseries, especially in these last couple of issues, like you said, when they were trying to make this event seem important, or this miniseries seem of some importance, it seemed to take over the main kind of storyline somewhat.
yeah,
Where this, and then the Thomas Wayne stuff was kind of secondary to that because it didn't seem as important. While I thought it was a good story that they were telling with his father in here, like you said, like I thought that was probably the best part about this issue was how in the end he had to still make that decision to save this kid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Basically over his own son. You know, I guess they could have went back in time to the alley and, you know, kind of knowing what's everything's going on.
yeah, like his wife, the Joker,
Yeah,
in this.
I just wish they didn't have to shoehorn all this other stuff in there. I think it would have been a lot better issue and series if they didn't.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it was cool how like his wife, the Joker, in the Flashpoint universe was pretty much just like, you know, join me, like Thomas, like we can reverse all
Yeah,
this, go back to being what we were, like, you know what I mean, before all this. And I like the twist about him. They've been saving the woman Two-Face's son in this universe. Essentially, his mother is basically the Two-Face, and I guess Harvey Dent. That's who I think is who they save there at the end, right? I'm assuming that's who that is, right? But I don't know. Maybe, anyways, whatever. They save the kid, and then they kind of have some little weird warped family at the end. Well, he becomes the Robin to his Batman in the Flashpoint universe, and meanwhile, the Joker, his wife, is in some sort of like
chase. Yeah, just living in a jail cell in their house, but she seems, a little better, I guess. I don't know. It's like he's got her like trapped in there like Hannibal Lecter or something like that. So I don't know. That's what I mean. Why couldn't this just be this? Like, I get that Geoff Johns trying to try to make sense of everything he's done. And then, like I said, trying to make sense of everything he's done as of lately. The last page, you got a Doomsday Clock tie in here. Like, I mean, like, yeah, like that was all lost on me. I don't think I read any of the Watchmen stuff in comics, so I don't know who's who and sort of what's up with that. I was one of the people that didn't mind Doomsday Clock by Geoff Johns. And that was always kind of part of this miniseries too. That was the whole Dr. Manhattan piece with the Bruce and everything in the main timeline. But then at the end here, they threw this whole thing in where I think that's Dr. like Ozymandias is, I don't know if that's his daughter, or if he had a daughter or something. Like, it's not really explained. So like you said, I think that we're not going to see the end of either the Flashpoint universe or this whole Doomsday Clock universe that like Geoff Johns, I guess, isn't done in that sense, but like maybe they'll play the new era, I guess, that new dawn of the new DCU. It really didn't do too much for me though. It was not the ending I was expecting, right? So unfortunately, but it is what it is. So it's over, and I don't know if I'll be checking out the next thing that's connecting to this this whole storyline, if it ends up being like another mini series or something. I guess we'll see, right? But what'd you give this one? I'll give this a 3.752. I did like the story with Thomas Wayne and the Joker and all that stuff. I just didn't like that stuff that was shoehorned in. If you look past that, I thought it's still pretty good. I agree. It kind of lost me with that stuff towards the end of the series. I think overall the mini series is okay. But I think I'm going to give it a 3.5. Like you said, just based off the Thomas Wayne stuff. I'll give it a 3.5. I would give it lower if it was based on that other stuff. No, for sure. While taking that into account, I think overall it was okay. So I'll give it a 3.5. All right, next up we got Avengers 61. You got Avengers 61. So this is part 4 of the current arc here, and it's focused on Starbrand. So basically in this series, the Avengers have been kind of floating through time, trying to chase Mephisto down and running into a whole bunch of other kind of variant or Avenger variants. This one's no different. There's a ton of them through here. I think we got like a Sorcerer Supreme Sasquatch. There's not much action with these characters. It's just more like appearances. But I guess what happens here is you learn that Starbrand character, every time she kind of unleashes the full extent of her power, it ages her. And I think the goal of the Avengers here is to get back to 1 million BC, the beginning of everything. And Starbrand basically has to sacrifice herself to get them there. And she's kind of battling Mephisto through all these timelines until they all kind of end up where they need to be at the end. And then you see that the Starbrand is an old lady with kind of one punch left. And I guess that's where things start picking up for the next arc, maybe. Pretty good issue, though. Yeah, let's remind me when it gets into this whole last arc for the Avengers Assemble stuff, because I do want to. Yeah, I think the Avengers Assemble might be starting maybe even this month or next month. Okay. And then I think that's continuing through this one and the Avengers Forever. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll give this. I don't know. I'll give it a 3.752. It's okay. All right. Next up, Iron Man 24. Iron Man 24. So I think it's the second last issue of the arc to the series or to this run. And what do we got going on with Iron Man here? So he's it was an okay issue. Showdown. There's a showdown with Source Control. That's the enemy he's been battling, I guess, in the last few issues. He's been trying to buy up all the I guess stolen tech or kind of weapons of mass destruction that are out there. And the last thing he's trying to get are these Mandarin rings. And he sort of gets double-crossed by one of his buddies. And you think, all is lost or things aren't looking too good for Tony Stark, but then there's another swerve, and there's the Cobalt Man. Turns out to be I guess a double crossing the Source Control, and uses the Mandarin rings to send Source Control and I guess their cronies into like some dark dimension. And then there's a big reveal of who the Cobalt Man is. It ends up being Riri Williams, because she's been almost doing the same thing that Tony was, trying to buy back all this weapons of mass destruction, or really dangerous weapons, just to get them out of the hands of people. And then the rest of the issue is just them kind of talking back and forth about who's responsible, because Tony wants those rings back, and then Riri wants, I want to keep these rings. I'm going to see what I can do with them, and just a lot of back and forth. But it was nice seeing Ironheart or Riri Williams there. I haven't seen much of her in a comic before.
Yeah.
So that was good to see. I like that.
I like too seeing the preview art for this, how like the whole battle and kind of end to this kind of this whole thing, it was in the rain. Like that's kind of like a good aesthetic, like kind of like to have all that, right? Like I know that's normally something that's reserved for like a Batman fight or something, but it was kind of cool to see, even although they're all just standing around in armor, I guess, to see them have to down in the rain was kind of cool, right? So so yeah, no, because sometimes
like I said, it wasn't a bad issue. I'd give it 3.5 just because there's a lot of hokey talk between, who you trust me or why do you trust me, or don't need that sort of business here, but
right.
all good stuff. And I think issue 25 might be closing out this series. I think the ending of this issue is like Tony saying, I got to go make amends with, I guess, the rest of the Avengers, or maybe the people that he killed while he was the Iron God. I don't know what he's up to there, but we'll see.
Right. All right. Next up, we got Deadly Class number 56. End of an era right here. I think it was like several years of this book. One of my favorite books on the stands. I was sad to see it go. A fitting kind of name to the last arc here, A Fond Farewell. This is part 8 and the end of the series. And I'm not even going to show any art from it. All I'm going to show you is this opening page to the book, guys, because I don't want to spoil anything for any new readers to this series or longtime readers of this series that may have not actually gotten to this one yet. This is going to reserve the right not to spoil anything about this issue. It opened up the issue, though, with this, basically saying that they've caught up to our time, essentially, in their storyline 2023. There was some political kind of scenes that were played out that you could probably relate to what's going on in our political climate, I think, in the world. And then it transitioned into, and how this relates to their characters and their story and everything else. And I'll just leave you with this. There was a line from the issue that I thought was excellent and very well done and needed. It was after everything we've all been through, people deserve a happy ending. So I'll leave it at that. I won't spoil anything else that happened in the issue, but I gave this a 5. This was nice. He stuck the landing. And if that line is any indication of maybe how the ending was, take it as you will. But I think it's definitely worth reading. This series definitely was something that was important to me, honestly. Like it really, like this comic meant a lot to me, honestly, over the years. So yeah, I loved it. I loved every minute of it, and I'm sad to see it go. But 56 issues for an indie comic these days is a big deal. Not even big 2 comics really make it that long, honestly, a lot of the time in their runs before they have to relaunch them. I think this is probably the best thing Remender has ever written. And Wes Craig, the artist, did an excellent job. I own original art from him. I've gotten to commission pieces from me over the years. I'm just a huge fan through and through of this team. So, yeah. So 5 out of 5, guys. So definitely check out Deadly Class if you've never checked it out. Highly recommended. But I just felt I shouldn't spoil anything about this because it took long to explain. But it was a great ending. All right. Next up, Rogues number 4. Also, the last issue of this 4-issue miniseries. This was like one of those DC Black Labels, the oversized issue, like magazine size, I guess, issues you can say. This was also really well done. I think this also stuck the landing. Honestly, like the way the series started, I thought it was amazing. The way it ended, I thought was amazing. Everything kind of tied up together very well. I think this is probably one of the best things Joshua Williamson has written in some time, and he writes a lot of books right now for DC and otherwise. He also has some Image books. But this is the best thing I think I've read from him from quite a while. It's definitely a more mature take on these Flash villains, the Rogues, on Captain Cold. And it didn't end well for everybody in this story. Basically, it was a heist gone wrong situation for the team, and there's a lot of losers by the end of this. A lot of unhappy folks, a lot of people dead, and I'll leave it at that. Definitely is not where I expected it to go, but he was a very interesting character, very well written in this. Gorilla City, Gorilla Zod was in this. You know, at the center of the heist, they were trying to rip off his money, essentially all the gold in Gorilla City. Yeah, it was just great. And again, I'm also giving this a 5. Few good candidates this week for things I read, guys. And all in all, I think this is a solid mini series that you guys should check out. I've already double dipped and pre-ordered the hardcover for myself to have. Honestly, so I'm really looking forward to checking this book out again, rereading it, in the future. So really well done, and unexpected hit for me from DC. I'll give that one a 5 as well. And then next up, something that I guess Chris didn't end up having a chance to read. I know you picked it up, Chris. We got Miracle Man #1. I got the Phil Noto cover for this one. This is basically, guys, a reprint. I think this and then maybe the next issue or two are going to be actual reprints of the series that was abandoned because they lost the rights to doing Miracle Man back in the 90s. And we had a premiere writer on it, who's gotten even bigger over time, returning to the book here with Neil Gaiman on writing duties. He's going to be rewriting the end, I guess, or the continuation of this story all the way back from the 90s. So like 30 years ago, finally, now that they have the rights to actually to do this story, Marvel, he's actually returned to the book to finally tell this story. And they've actually had it for the last couple of years. They've been teasing this guy's return for some time. So it's probably, to the point where like Neil Gaiman actually had the time to do it because, he actually writes. He's been off working on Sandman, the TV show, and everything else, all those other shows that they got in production right now. So I'm sure he was kind of like, yeah, I'll get to this book when I can type of deal. Right. So, but Mark Buckingham on art. So yeah, this stuff, I think it was recolored by Jordi Belair, this stuff right here. Yeah. Jordi Belair and Todd Klein, they relettered it and colored it. So if you have the original printings of this version is going to look probably a lot better. Although some purists might say they like the original coloring or whatever, right? I know there's comic fans like that out there. They'll say it doesn't look the same, but it looks good to me. I thought this was really well done. I thought that issue 0 was not really any indication, I think, Chris, of this storyline or these characters, but coming off the heels of Alan Moore's story on Miracle Man, with originally issue, I think this is supposed to be 23 of this series back in the 90s, 22 or 23. This was really well done. 23, yeah. June 1992. This is originally remastered from The Secret Origin of Young Miracle Man. This kind of recapped everything that seems to have come before it with the Alan Moore story, which I've read. This did a really great job in one issue of recapping everything, introducing you to this character, introducing you to young Miracle Man, who's now being resurrected in this issue. And it was really well done. Great illustrations, I think, by Mark Buckingham. Really well written. I'm interested in this. I think I ditched the issues. I might only have one more pre-ordered. Maybe not. Maybe just this I had pre-ordered, but I'm gonna definitely continue reading this digitally online. And I'm probably gonna definitely pick up the paperback or hardcover, however this is collected when it does come out. Because I think this is gonna be a winner, honestly. The fact that Gaiman is coming back to write this character, I think, is a big deal, and finally finish his storyline out. And this issue really impressed me. Really well done. I'm very interested in what's going on with this character now. That 0 issue was not a good indication of that, guys. So like you said, if you heard what we had to say about that issue on the show here, check this issue out. Check these next couple issues out, because I think it's going to be really interesting. I gave this man, I really liked this. I'll give this a 4.5. It was really well done. It felt like it is called the Silver Age. It really did feel like an old school comic book, but at the same time, like really well written with really good art, kind of reminiscent of old school style art, but you can tell it's intentional. Like this was done in the 90s. So like this is them trying to recapture, I think, what maybe old school comics were like, but in a much better written, sophisticated way. So yeah, so there you go. That's the best thing I could say about this. It was really, really good.
Right, I'm trying to make sure I give it a read.
Yeah, check it out, Chris. I'm be interested to see what you have to say about this, because I know we were kind of maybe down on this after that 0 issue. We're kind of like, I don't know if we should be buying into this or not, but yeah, I'm really excited to read more actually after this issue. It's quite the opposite of what I was thinking, and which is why I didn't pre-order any other issues, because I'm just like, I don't know about that. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely worth checking out. So, all right, next up, X-Men 16, Chris. Yeah, got that cover as well.
Nice. Well, I feel that this series is keeping chugging along. I think the storyline is getting interesting. The deal that Forge and Sinister make looks like that might play into something in the future, I'd imagine. And let's see. I thought there's a lot of the deal was gold. Caliban is part of Forge's costume. Thought that was gold. The fight between Cyclops and Havoc. I don't know, that was kind of dumb how they released the one of those Children of the Vault. Like, really, you're gonna be that sort of careless around these, world or universe ending, beings. But I thought that was kind of dumb. But it was a nice battle with I don't even know what that Children of the Vault's name was.
Yeah.
But who knows? That could stir things up for them. Maybe he's going to reject the programming inside there, and they're going to have a full fight on their hands.
I for one, actually love that scene because, first of all, the artist of this issue made the Summers brothers look like complete juice bags. I don't know what's going on there. I've never seen Havoc that fucking jacked. I don't know what's happening here, but I'm like, whoa. And then the actual Havoc helmet, I've never seen it that big. I don't know why he chose to draw him like that, but it was just like seeing the Summers brothers fight each other, like even when they're grabbing onto this big fucking guy. This guy's, like you said, the guy's the size of the Hulk or stronger than the Hulk of the Thing, they said during their fight, right?
Yeah.
They're just like both strong arming him like Arnold style. I was like, what? Look at this panel. I don't know, man. I really liked that. It was actually, I mean, some people may be like, what the hell is this? I was like kind of entertained by that scene. Like you said, like you didn't maybe love them fighting, or I guess
No, I like the fight, but just but they wouldn't be fighting like that around those stupid pods. Come on.
Well, Havoc was the one that was a bit of a hothead in this situation. He has a lot of issues with Cyclops, right? So I mean,
they've had issues for 20 years, man. Relax.
That's what I mean. So, but yeah, I love Forge. I love him going into that pod. I love, like you said, the Caliban stuff. And should we mention what happens here at the end, or think we should leave
I think it's out there, but
I'm going to mention
either way. I think it's interesting what's going to happen there.
So basically, the first time they went into this in that giant size X-Men issue that Hickman did during his run, when Synch came out, it was apparently him and Laura Wolverine, they had a relationship and were together inside of this thing, and all these years had passed by, not in their world, but inside the actual the world that they're in, that pod or whatever. And I guess it seems that she didn't die, which is going to mess things up, because Synch came out. He said that she ended up dying. And if Forge finds her alive here, this means there's basically two versions of her running around now if he were to rescue her and bring her out. And it looks like he's going to. But if that's the case, that means that they basically resurrected a backup of her when they didn't necessarily have to. And if she comes out, there's going to be another Laura, right? So I don't know what's going to happen with all that. But that's kind of interesting. I mean, I
think this new Laura here is going to be kick-ass, though.
This looks like a Weapon X Wolverine here.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's not going to be some happy go lucky little kid Laura. Like, she's been living a lot of lifetimes in there,
And is she not on the main roster of this team right now, or am I mistaken by that? Isn't she?
I don't think so.
She's not part of this roster, right? Okay. I know she's part of one of the books right now, but if she's not part of the main X-Men roster right now, then anyways, it's going to be interesting. That Sinister stuff looks awesome. That's going on right now with him and Forge. I don't know what those two are up to. There's a lot of interesting. This is
probably a lot of good stuff going on there.
A lot of good stuff going on. This was an excellent issue of X-Men, I thought, this one. So
yeah. I'm happy it's good. I give this one an easy 4.25, and these are one of the comics that need to be good when I like reading comics.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5, man. I'm throwing out these scores here today. I really enjoyed my comics for the most part. Yeah, good one. Or at least we're hitting all the good ones now. Maybe not so much later. So all right, next up, Thor 28, Chris.
Thor 28. Yeah. Another great comic. I thought there was a lot of epic moments in there, you know, and they had the Mjolnir versus Hellner flashing together, and then you got Thor merging with Venom, and then, you know, you got a bit of a swerve there with Venom turning into that Meridius character. And the only thing I don't understand is why is Donald Blake getting all that poison stuck in his eyes? Did he mess up somewhere along the way?
So
I think they've talked about it before a bit, but
so that was my favorite part about this issue, actually, that they've kind of kept that lingering, this whole idea that he's being punished this whole time. And really, by the end of this issue, they really brought that back home, that kind of story thread, that plot that they left hanging there. I thought that was genius, honestly. I did not see that coming. So before you started reading Thor and we started doing the show, the first arc, I think, or first or second arc of Donny Cates' Thor run, Donald Blake was found that he was actually alive this whole time. And what his father Odin did was basically, when he did away with this persona of Thor's, he basically banished him to this place that was like the time, like a limbo of some sort.
yeah,
Right.
So, like, did he do something wrong to get this poison in his eyes, or
he tried to basically kill all of them, and like,
okay,
he became evil. Like, he came back, but the reasoning behind why he did was because they fucked over his life. Like, they brought this guy who was this Donald Blake persona, and then they just did away with him. So the punishment, yes, it fit the crime in the sense he came back and tried to like kill them and everything, but like they also did wrong by him. Like Odin really, and you know, Odin did a lot.
Yeah, he's never been a fair person, let's say.
Right. So I mean, but the fact that this issue ended with that twist here, and I believe I've actually got it up in here in the art here, guys. So you know, spoilers again, with the whole Venom thing. That's kind of interesting to me, just because we've been talking about this whole Donald Blake thing, this punishment for the last couple of issues. Loki has mentioned it, and the fact that they kind of brought it right back around, and instead of the venom dripping in, it was the actual venom, not the snake venom, but the venom symbiote. I was like, whoa. Yeah. So he's going to come back as a villain once again, it looks like here, whatever the way this
is. Got Max to grind too.
Right. Yeah. That was my favorite part about the issue. That's all I kind of wanted to say. Other than that, I was just like, I don't know. The whole Venom Thor stuff was fine, but the fact that they kept this, the cliffhanger of this issue really made me put a smile on my face. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's.
Well, I think the Venom Thor thing is too soon. You know, you just had Venom Hulk, or I mean, Hulk Thor, like what 2-3 issues. Now you got a Thor Venom.
Right.
You're kind of mashing these guys together too much too soon, but it's still nice to see.
Yeah. Yeah. So what'd you give it?
Yeah, I give this 4.25.
Whoa.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to give it I got to give it a 4. I was going to give it a 3.75, but I like the ending and that whole idea so much that I'll bump it up to 4. So yeah, I'll give it a 4. All right, Chris, next we got Titans United Blood Pack number 2. Oh, let's check
one of the variant covers. Yeah, it's the reason I picked this up. Just get a little variant cover. Starfire.
Nice one.
Well, I didn't read the first one, but I think I'm going to go back and read this because it's an interesting story going on there. I think Raven has sort of become like some messiah in the world, and everything's been kind of turned upside down. And like the good people are bad, the bad people are good. And I think Tim Drake is there. He's basically from our world, or from the main universe, going into wherever they are. So he remembers everything as it was, and he's just running into a whole bunch of characters. A lot of things. Jinx is there, and I don't know some of the other names. I think they're the Hive or something like that he's fighting with, or that they fight with in the normal universe, and he comes back, and they're all good guys there. And it's a fun issue, you know. Like I said, I just picked it up for the cover, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. It's like some sort of bizarre world there. That was a good read. But once again, you know, it's not in the main. I don't know if it's in the main continuity or not, so that's always a bit of a bummer. But I might definitely read the next few ones online just to keep up with the story. I give it a 3.75.
Nice. That's good. That's good to hear. You picked up something just for the cover and it turned out to be good. That's always a bonus, right?
Yeah.
All right. Catwoman 48.
Catwoman 48. Another variant cover for this. It's I think it's Sozo Maki.
Okay, nice.
Not too bad. Nice cover.
Yeah.
It's profiler base cover there. And I guess here we got Catwoman with that Valmont I guess I just realized here that Valmont is part of the League of Assassins. And this issue, she's here. I think she's in she's back in Italy with, I guess, the old country's family of one of the Gotham crime families, trying to negotiate the return of one of her friends there. And I guess things don't go so well, so they kind of she has to force their hand as Catwoman, and they got to kind of get out of Italy pretty quick. So Valmont has to kind of call upon its resources as a League of Assassins, and they bring in a jet there to pick him up and get him out of there. And I guess since Valmont has met Catwoman, he's decided not to kill anybody anymore just because he's being with her there. And that sort of upsets the League of Assassins, so there's a price on his head. So they basically just came to pick him up to try and kill him. So now he's in the plane trying to fight off the League of Assassins there, and they crash the plane or something. And I guess they just get a little romantic there with Valmont and Selina. So kind of a bit of a hokey issue, but some nice action. And I heard there's going to be a meeting between Batman and Valmont soon, so maybe that's just sort of upping the tension or the drama for that next meeting, because this is still right after Catwoman and Batman have sort of taken a break, let's say. So that's not too bad. I give it maybe a 3.75.
All right, nice. Next up, we got Batman the Knight number 10. This is the conclusion of this this series. Which, you know, if you recall, may or may not recall, if you were listening to me talk about the first couple of issues on the show, I was going to drop until they announced Chip Zdarsky on the Batman title, because I thought maybe this would tie into it somehow. You know, whether or not they had offered him the job at that point, you know, left to be seen. I don't know if if that was the case, because I don't feel this is going to tie into the Batman story he's telling whatsoever, at least at this point in time, unless maybe they reference his past training. But I think that this was really well done. I really ended up enjoying this book. I'm going to definitely pick up the hardcover or whatever comes out of this series. I think it's worthy of keeping with some of my favorite Batman books. I think this is really great. I really love this series a lot. Each issue kind of got better and better. I will say, I did mention this on the last issue, though, this last two issues, probably my least favorite of the last, 4 or 5 issues or whatever, because it kind of ended in a predictable way, because we've reached the point now where he finally has to become Batman. You still don't really ever see him put on the costume, but at the end, he shows back up to the mansion, and then he reunites with Alfred, and then you see that he's kind of in the Batcave, or creating the Batcave in the last page, or you see bats kind of coming out of a cave or whatever that I guess becomes a Batcave. And so you get the idea, right? But I think that these last two issues, again, is just because it's where we are expecting it to go, because he is now reaching the point where he does become Batman. His last mentor or trainer that he kind of met along his travels here, of course, is Ra's al Ghul. So this kind of established the whole relationship between him and Ra's, as well as, his daughter and Talia and everything else, right? So the only reason I say these were the weakest is just because this is kind of what I had expected from the rest of the series. While the rest of the series kind of gave me something unexpected and introduced us to a bunch of characters that really aren't big characters in that way, but this was like, okay, here we go, here's the whole Raw stuff, right? So while it was well done and ended good, it just was the least interesting to me out of the bunch. So I'll give this issue a 3.75. But yeah, as a whole, though, the series, I'd give it like a 4 to 4.25, 4.5, like somewhere around there. Like, it was really good. Like, I really liked this series as a whole. I think Chip Zdarsky has done a great job with all the Batman stuff he's done so far, including this series, including the start of his main series. He's done a really great job. He also wrote a really good, of all things, Red Hood series, Red Hood story in Batman Urban Legends, like the anthology series. The first 5 or 6 issues I was picking up at that time because he was writing one of the stories. He wrote a really great Red Hood story in that too. So he has a good voice for the Batman stuff. Honestly, he does a really good job, and I think he gets the character. And yeah, so there you go, him in the Batcave. So yeah, 3.75 for this one.
Nice. I'm glad he wrote this in a story separate from the main Batman book, and than kind of just trying to weasel that in or something.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a worthwhile story worth telling, I think,
Yeah.
about training to become Batman, but it's not like we're gonna get a whole arc in the main series about him, his origins as Batman.
Yeah. Again, yeah.
That's not what you want, because I've read enough of those stories. Then there you go. You don't have to. He didn't subject us to that one, right? So, next up, you got Silver Coin number 15. Sad news on this one. Unfortunately, at the end of this issue, I actually didn't upload the image of it. Maybe I'll show it up to the screen here. There's like a page in the back here that actually has Michael Walsh drawing himself and basically explaining. He says here at the end, "Hey, hello, dear readers. Michael Walsh here, co-creator, artist, and occasional writer of the Silver Coin. Thank you so much for being a part of the journey and following this strange little horror anthology. It's your support that has helped the book get this far. For anybody who doesn't know, actually, this was originally only supposed to be like a 5-issue miniseries, but it was so popular that he's been able to now do 15. Like, they actually extended the run and made it an ongoing series, which is awesome. Me and my wife, Toni Marie Griffin, are having a baby in October, so I need to place the comic on a temporary hiatus while we both take some time to work on our growing family. So that said, the Silver Coin will return. I have many more stories to tell in this twisted world and can't wait to share them. Thank you again, and I hope you continue reading when the comic returns." So that really sucks, but totally understandable. It's always a risk, though, when you do these kind of independent series through Image and stuff like that. He does have, obviously, a fan base because the book has been popular enough to bring it to this point. I just really hope people stick around to be here for when it does return. I will be one of those people. I do like Michael Walsh's stuff a lot. I've loved this series. I've talked about it a lot on this show. But again, it is risky in that sense, but I think everyone can relate to that. He's actually, I guess, has afforded himself to take off some time, with his new baby on the way. I just thought that was something you don't really see from creators addressing in their books. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I wanted to highlight that. This issue, though, that being said, this is always the 5th issue in every arc of 5 issues. Michael Walsh writes and draws it, while he's normally only the artist. He gets other good comic book writers to kind of come on and do the other issues, but he always does the 5th issue that kind of, I guess, ties everything together out of all the stories. He tries to make sense of all it, have a through line in the story. And basically in this issue, it shows that this guy who was a firefighter unearthed the coin, I guess, at the end of maybe. Oh, actually, sorry, I've just actually got that right now. I don't think that was him unearthing it. I think that was actually probably the guy that unearthed it at the end of the issue, because this house actually goes on fire. So that makes a lot of sense. That actually opens up the issue. So this guy basically got a hold of this coin, and we've been seeing him in the background of a lot of the storylines, including the diner one, which I really, really loved, that I talked about on the show here. He was just somebody that was kind of creeping around in the background. He basically makes sense of the fact that this guy, apparently, that's had the coin, has basically been in the shadows, and the reason why a lot of this shit has happened to all of these people throughout some of the stories that we've been reading in the anthology so far was because he was kind of, pulling the strings, let's say, in the background, basically being working for the evil that comes from the coin. He thinks like he's feeding it, like, essentially, souls and all this kind of, because the coin got to him and he's insane, right? Like, he's basically been taken over by whatever evil comes from this coin, and he thinks that he's basically helping its cause, right? But anyways, by the end of this, he's totally fucked up, and he's writing things. He has voices in his head of the evil spirits from the coin and everything else. And he takes his wife and he like chains her to the radiator in the basement or whatever. He's got her like captive there and beats the shit out of her. And then by the end of the issue, he basically just becomes so corrupted by this. Something ends up happening. His wife pulls her arm off like Saw style to get out of the trap that she's in the basement. The whole house goes up in flames. He supposedly dies. She survives, but then she finds like his notebook of like warped kind of like things he's written, demented stuff he's written as a result of the coin over time. And yeah, I guess at the start of the issue, they show that maybe a firefighter kind of found the coin in the wreckage. So interesting place to leave it, right? So I'll give this issue a 3.75. It wasn't my favorite of the issues. Not to say that Michael Walsh isn't a good writer, because normally he's just the artist of this, because a lot of the ideas have come from him for this series, because it is his series. So I think for the other writers that have come on and written those stories. So he works in collaboration with them. So, but it wasn't my favorite story, and I was kind of bummed out to hear they're going to take a hiatus at the end of this, but I'll give it a 3.75. Really a great series, though. Definitely check it out, guys. If you're into horror anthologies, it's a great time of year to be checking that out if you're looking for some spooky shit. And lastly, we got here out of my books for the moment here, we got Shaolin Cowboy Cruel to Be Kin #6. Don't really got much to add on this one that I haven't said about any previous issues. One more issue to go in this 7-issue miniseries. Great art as always. Very crazy detailed art from Jeff Darrow, the highlight of why you pick up this book. But this is probably one of my least favorite issues for the story itself. Like where we left off at the last one, he's now like tracked down these guys that were the reason as to why the lizard family that he was living with, they ended up killing them. So just sounds ridiculous saying it, but yeah, that's the story. And he's tracked down like these right-wing kind of racist, horrible depiction of American people here that he's chose to put in his storyline. But of course there is people like this, so I get it. One of them turns into like a crazy giant crab creature or something, as you can see here. I don't know what happened there. And yeah, you know, as always, fighting ensues. So I'll give this issue a 3.75. I always want to give it a 4 just because of the art, but the story was just, there wasn't a lot to this one in particular. While I've actually been surprised and have really enjoyed the storyline throughout this, as wacky and crazy as it's been, this one left me a little wanting, I gotta say, on the storyline aspect of things. But the art always amazing, and it's a really, really fucking fun book. And yeah, it's one more issue to go, so I'm interested to see how this is all gonna end here for our main character. All right, Chris.
Nice.
DC versus Vampires, All Out War #4.
Track down. Got one of the variant covers for that.
Oh, nice.
Not too bad. And for this DC versus Vampires War, I think maybe just the color scheme there, I just have a hard time figuring out who's who. Like in this one here, when I guess it's Starfire that's flying around with Batgirl, or I didn't know who she was half the issue. I had to go back and read #3 to figure out what's going on. But some good action in here. I'm what's 6 issues for this, so we're at 4. I'll probably buy the next couple. Not much to say about it in general, though.
No, yeah, this has been disappointing, I think, while comparing it to the main series for me. This is actually my last issue that I've pre-ordered. I'm gonna read the last 2 issues on digitally, but I'm not into owning the issues of this anymore, this particular series. Like, while I think that the spin-off series of like the Dark Knights of Steel stuff, like the one-shots they've done, actually, you know what, some of the one-shots they did, like the Killers and Hunter, whatever, those ones that they did for this actually were good.
Yeah, I think it's just too long.
Yeah, this did not need 6 issues, this particular story of
it's
this.
like when they get their double issues with that half story at the end. They should have been just 3-4 issues doing what they do, full issues, and that's it.
I just think there's been better examples of them doing these spin-off series of these series that they've done over at DC as of lately, even if it's in the form of one-shots. But I don't think they needed a whole 6-issue mini to explain this other group of characters. That's nowhere near as interesting, I think, as the people in the main book. Although I did like a couple scenes in this. I did like Midnighter's scene where they're basically both got the same type of power set, trying to like figure out.
Yeah, the guy's head just blows up. Like, we're just battling in our minds.
That was cool. Like, they're literally standing around. I was like, yeah, well, that would happen, right? He's like, fuck this. The guy, I was like, that's pretty awesome. I liked that a lot. I did like that. And the backup story, the whole different color scheme, the blue and white, and the art style, I thought was really interesting. Yeah, this right here. This is kind of cool looking. This is about Black Thunder, I think, or Black Lightning. Sorry, that's his name.
Yeah, it's a decent story, but
it was okay. But
it doesn't really matter, though.
No. But yeah, like you said, it was whatever, though. I haven't liked it nearly as much as I think we've liked DC versus Vampires. But 2 more issues ago, I'll at least check it out online, if anything. So what'd you give this one then?
I give it a 3.5. Like I said, I like the cover. I'm probably going to buy the next 2 anyways, but
I'll give it a 3.25, this one.
It is turning me off, all these all-out war sort of tie-ins to whatever series are going on. There's all some sort of all-out war that goes with them. Enough, I'll be buying them from now on.
It's just one of those things. I think that it's just a cash grab, because I think once a series takes off, they're like, oh, well, how can we expand on this, right? And a lot of the stories, like you said, I think are not really all worth telling, that they're basically selling us on. Like, I don't think they had any intention to ever bring out this series until DC versus Vampires probably was very popular for them, and then they're like, okay, what else can we do now, right?
Yeah.
So it's totally unwarranted, right? This storyline, like there's nothing here that I think that the main series isn't giving us already. So
For sure.
yeah. Then you got Batman Superman World's Finest #8, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still a good looking comic. It's nice, colorful. It's kind of like what a comic should be, old timey. Nothing too, let's say, controversial going on in there. It's that story of the hero who's trying to find his powers or responsibilities. But it's just not what I'm looking for right now. I'm not digging this boy Thunder. Like, I'm looking through the comic, looks great, dialogue's great with everybody. Love all the characters that are in there, but they got to ramp this up a bit or something.
Yeah, I know you haven't been feeling the. It seems like ever since the first initial story arc, like issue 6 onwards, you haven't been loving this as much as you've liked that first arc, right? I still liked it. Again, I agree with you. It's not my favorite storyline, but I think that there's still enough to like about the book. Like you said, the art's good. I think it definitely does have an old school feel to it, like an out of continuity. Like,
yeah, what's the big thing here is everybody was scared to go through doors or something.
well, the thing is, this kid apparently, like, it seems like he may be the reason as to why his world got blown up, like because he couldn't control his powers, or he didn't step up to the task to help them or something like that. So something's definitely going on there. But I think what's really happening, because like I think, well, who was it? Supergirl in this? One of them was just like, or someone was like, I don't really trust this kid. Maybe look out for him. And then like, or sorry, it was somebody on the Titans, I think, that said it too. Was it Cassie, the Wonder Girl, or somebody? So it was somebody. And then, so maybe the twist is gonna be that this guy actually destroyed his world, like, and like he's actually a bad guy, and these guys are treating.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's just a setup issue.
I love seeing Blue Beetle show up, though. Like, I still like to see all the characters and the world. Like, I like seeing that this kind of like Silver Age, kind of like DC kind of type vibe that they got going on here. So I'm still in. I hear you. It's probably.
I'm still in for sure. Like I say, everything looks great about this comic. Just not. Just gotta throw some meat on this bone here.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I agree. It's not my favorite storyline, this one either. This is kind of cool though, how they stepped into that door and it was like a weird spiral or whatever. Like, but maybe that'll spice things up. Joker ends up
maybe
the issue, right? So that's always, and he says he loves sidekicks. So maybe maybe there's something bad's gonna happen to this kid. Maybe you won't have to worry about it.
Maybe making this kid a chump just to watch him die.
So what'd you give this one, Chris?
I give it a 3.5.
I'm gonna give it a 3.75 this issue. All right. Next up, we got Bone Orchard #2. Very quickly, this is the second issue of this 5-issue miniseries by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. Again, it's kind of like a horror book, I'll say. In this one, they basically just get more into the story about how these two girls, their past, in the past they were friends, and I guess they were really into D&D. So this issue kind of focuses a lot on them spending time doing that when they were younger, and I guess some of the some of their creations or the things that they came up with, I think, during their D&D sessions. If I had to guess to see where this story is going, because it's kind of like been a slow roll so far, is that these things somehow came to life, like came realized out of their imaginations from their time playing D&D together. And then it gets to the point, like as all people encounter during, your teen years, where the one friend wants to kind of go and, start hanging out with other people, and, may want to go like start dating, or like wants to go to parties and wants to hang out, maybe do drugs. And like, there's a part here where she takes out a bottle of alcohol that she stole from her mom, and the other one's not really into drinking it. And so like it looks like they're both gonna maybe go their separate ways, or at that point in their lives where she's like, listen, I don't want to sit here playing D&D in the basement all day anymore, and kind of thing, right? So I think it's getting to that point where one of them's growing up differently than the other, and maybe forgetting, losing sight of herself or their friendship, right? So I think if I had to guess, I think whatever they're coming up with in these D&D sessions, though, may come to life, and maybe the reason as to why this one girl is dead now, and we're basically seeing them see the past play out in this story of how their relationship was. So, for what it was, I'll give this a 3.75. I thought the art was good. I thought the story was decent, but again, we're only getting a small part of the story so far. This could be something that reads better in trade, because it does leave me guessing by the end of every issue, I think, is a good thing. But at the same time, it's like I need a little bit more, right? As Chris said, a little bit more meat on the bone there for this story. So there we go. Next up, we got Predator number 3. This is part of the Purge. This is my last issue that I've actually pre-ordered for this series. Again, nothing wrong with this. I've actually quite enjoyed this Predator comic. I think it's good. The art's good. The story they're telling is good. Basically in this issue, she gets attacked by a predator. Not the one that she's been trying to track down and kill, that killed her family in her past, but another one that ended up, I guess, somehow getting one of her weapons that she left somewhere, maybe in space. And it attacked her with it, and is now, tracked her down. And by the end of this issue, you find out that they actually have come up with a way to now track her. And at the end of the issue, there's like a spaceship basically coming towards her, full of other predators. They've now found a way that they've been able to track her through the universe, because she has been tracking down systematically a lot of their predators and killing them. And now they've kind of turned the tables on her, and they've figured out a way to track her down. And, if you know the Predator movies, they're hunters first and foremost. So, they hunt people for game and shit like that. So like, now she's getting chased, right? So by the end of this issue, so, it's pretty interesting. And, it's a Predator story. Like, I think it's interesting, and it's a good space story, and it's enjoyable. And it's, while I don't necessarily need to read a Predator comic, so that's why I dropped it. I was just like, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's fine. I give it a 3.5 this issue. If you're really into the Predator, though, like I am a fan of the Predator, you could check this out and probably enjoy it. I think it's not what you think. Every issue hasn't had predators in it, so it's kind of telling a really interesting story about a girl that's kind of lost in space trying to survive as well, right? So you got that aspect to it. So it's pretty good.
I think Predator's got to go back to Dark Horse, where they can kind of get some more grittier type storylines or something.
Yeah, that can be argued. I mean, it was at Dark Horse, honestly, until like a couple years ago from the 90s. Like it's always been at Dark Horse. Same with Alien, right? But now Marvel has the rights to both of those, and they took away Conan from them too, and now they've lost the rights to Conan. So like, like you said, I think
Marvel doesn't need Predator. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so, right? I think so. It should be interesting. We'll see what happens. Whether they keep it or not, or they just comics for a couple of years and then get rid of it like they did Conan. So, Midnight Suns number 2. Hated the first issue. You may remember me talking about that one. This is
nice cover though.
Yeah, and this is a series I should like. This is all like all style, no substance though type of deal. Like this has a bunch of fucking characters I love, good art, should be a good story, but it's just not. It's just not giving me what I'm looking for. It's just
man, this is a commercial for a video game.
Yeah, it's just like, Dr. Doom shows up in this. Doom is fighting Wolverine, Magic, Blade, what's her name from the Runaways, Nico Morano or whatever her name is. I love all these characters. Like these are a lot of great characters here. You're fighting Doombots. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just not reading as exciting as it should be. It's missing something. I don't know. It's the story is not very compelling that they're telling in this. It's only like a 5-issue miniseries. So I'm done. This is the last issue I pre-ordered. This has also been part of the Purge. I gave this issue 3.25. Nothing else to kind of really add to this, guys. I mean, Clea shows up.
Like looking at it, looks good. All the people are there, but
it's just not reading. It's not a great story that they're telling here. It just isn't, it looks
like it's just been phoned in or something.
Yeah. So I got suckered into that one, right? What can I say? All right.
Bullet.
Next up we got Public Domain number 5. You read this, right, Chris?
Yep.
Nice. I got this too.
This was one of my drop lists there, but I don't know, kept on showing up in my box, so I kept on reading it. And I'm not mad about it. It's a good story. I'm starting to starting to like these characters a little bit. You know, it's not no superhero story, nothing big's going on. It's just these, with his family kind of going through their life. And it's nice to see finally something go good in their direction, or something swings the right way for them, like something crazy good for them too. And that was nice to see.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Honestly, like, I've been fucking feeling down on humanity, like just in general lately in life, right? Like, and this comic really put a smile on my face, man. I really unexpected something so small like that, like an act of kindness. I did not expect to find in this storyline. Like you said, they've been really having a rough time, a rough go of this, trying to get this comic book company now up and running. That the father has wanted to,
and this father character, you gotta like him. He doesn't want to try and make money on this. All he goes, I just want to write comics. You can have the rights to everything. You just got to let me write the comics, and you can have rights to everything. And I couldn't see a person out there like that. And the kids there are freaking telling me those old men that he's dumb, and then even his wife, enjoy this new office that you're getting. And, like I say, it breaks right for him, and it's good to see.
Yeah, I love this issue. This is probably my favorite issue so far. This has also been dropped from my list, but I'm going to pick it up in trade. I'm definitely going to pick this up.
Like, it's only going 6 issues, or?
It might be. I think I've only pre-ordered 5. I haven't seen a solicitation for the 6th issue unless it's going to be in the new solicitations that have just come out for January. So, he might be taking a break. I don't know, right? I mean, he's writing and drawing this thing, Chip Zdarsky. So,
well, that's why I hope it's a limited series, because I'll keep on going. But if this isn't ongoing, then I'm just going to have to drop it, whether I like it or not.
I can't see this going for more than at most they can maybe is 10 issues. I would say, like, I can't see this going on for too much longer.
I even feel bad for the bad guy. Well, not the bad guy, but the guy that's trying to write my own copies there, and he's in the, he's all excited about writing it again, and he's in the copy room, and then all the young people are like, this Goldman's off his rocker. What he's doing, this is garbage. We should find new jobs, because if he's doing this, then this place is going on business.
Yeah, the cool part about it was too at the end, like so basically, like very quickly, like the guy, there was just like some super fanboy guy that comes by the artist's house that's been a fan of him forever, even though he hasn't been active, and he ends up signing comics for him and giving him like free art and shit like that, because he's just a guy that lives in his neighborhood that likes his stuff. So he's like, he's receptive to it. He's like, oh yeah, nice, yeah, come by, whenever, come see me. And as soon as he catches wind of these guys, the family here trying to put together this comic book company, they go to visit like this like decrepit like studio. It looks like they look at the picture and it looks like a shithole.
Yeah.
Get in, and all of a sudden, like, it's all done up and it's got his company's name on it that he drew the illustration for and everything. And he's like, what the hell's going on here? And then this guy comes out of nowhere and he's just like, oh yeah, I have money.
I pulled an app or whatever.
I created an app. I'm a millionaire. You've been so nice to me over all these years. I thought, what the hell? I'll give you guys, enough to go for your first year. I'll fund your company. And I just want to see you make some kick-ass comics. And I'm just like, wow, like what a nice like thing that this guy did.
Yeah, like there's no hidden agenda there. It's not like you have you have the next panel where you see him like freaking brooding his fingers after, I finally got him. No, he just wanted to do something nice. It was nice to see.
But it's just so bad to say that such a random act of kindness, even in a comic, was unexpected. It's like you said, we're so used to shit going wrong for these characters, and it really has been so far the first few issues, right? So like the fact that like they actually have this like, yeah, no, it honestly was like a good feeling, warming story that they're kind of telling. Like it's about family and friends coming together and creating something. Like I was just like, this is. Well, I thought this was going to be Chip Zdarsky's kind of like rant on why he hates the comic industry. That it kind of does show you the good parts of what it can be, as well as the bad series so far, man. It's awesome. Like, and the thing there at the end though is he kind of does a quick doodle, the father artist, and all of them are like, "Oh my god, did you see that?" They're like, "He must be rusty. That looks terrible." And then the son goes there and he starts inking it, and then it looks like, "Oh, well, we got our inker now, right?" Like. Yeah. And he's like, oh, that looks way better now, right? And just so like, yeah, no, it was great, man. I really such an unexpected series. It's actually gotten better and better for me. I really, really enjoyed this issue. I can't tell you how much. Like just something like that, I was like shocked by it. I was like, wow, this is great, man. So yeah, put a smile on my face, man. So what'd you
Yeah.
get?
I still will give it a 3.5, but I did like it.
Brutal. This guy has no heart.
Really beat it.
Yeah, beat it. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 5. I can't.
5. Wow.
Yeah. It actually got a visceral reaction out of me though, Chris. Like I was just like, wow, that's actually really really nice of this guy in this story. I was like, that was pretty cool. So it surprised me. It surprised me. So
Bravo for you. I do nice things all the time to people, so it's
I
just another day for me.
I get nothing in return. All right, Chris. Nightwing 97.
Nightwing 97. What do we got here? Freaking hate Nightwing. I'm not like I don't hate him because it's bad. I just don't like him. Freaking, you gotta get Tom Taylor to freaking write Spider-Man or something and give Peter Parker some of this freaking good luck or something. But I thought it was a good ground level story. There's some good lines from that Maroni character in the safe house when he's all freaking lying in the bed and he goes, "Oh, you're awake." He goes, "Yeah," and you got thin ceilings. I thought that was hilarious. And just the other stuff going on, not too bad. I don't mind it at all. I thought it was good. Nice tease for the next issue at the end. Oh yeah, that Rick Grayson was. Oh, sorry, I don't know if that's a spoiler or something.
No,
I gotta know. I don't know what the. I thought Rick Grayson was Dick Grayson before, but now he seems to be another person there.
It was a storyline a lot of fans hated on prior.
Yeah, when he lost his memory or something. I remember you telling me about that.
He got amnesia and he fucking became Rick Grayson for a period of time and he was driving a cab. And then by the end of this issue, guys, guess what? Somebody rolls up in a cab and all of a sudden it's a guy that pokes his head out the door that is Rick Grayson. And then it basically says like, well, it's about to get a whole lot weirder or something on the page.
Yeah. Because they're out in the middle of nowhere too. Nobody knows where they are. How did this guy find them?
I have no idea what's going on here, but it basically says next, this night might get even weirder. I was like, listen, if he changes my mind on how much I hated the idea of this Rick Grayson character somehow, then, you know, Tom Taylor's the man because like he's kind of playing with fire here because this was a hated on aspect to his storyline of a writer that was on the book previous to Tom Taylor taking over. So I don't know what the hell he has in mind here. He even has a scar there. If you can see in the art where he has his head turn, that's where he got hit originally. But you're right. That was actually Dick Grayson. So I don't know why there's a manifestation of.
Yeah, I thought this was like a crazy ending, you know, like I thought it was a decent issue. Then, pow, he dropped this bomb on us, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyways, what'd you give it then, Chris? The book you love to hate.
Give it a 4.25.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say love to hate? I meant hate to love because it's a character you don't really love all that much. I got to give it a 4. Listen, I have a hard time not giving this book a 4, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little.
It's good.
It's good stuff. As much as Chris always starts off by saying, I hate this guy.
I do hate him, but Nightwing doesn't deserve any of this crap that he's getting.
Yeah, well.
He's just being there. He can just go hang out with his Teen Titans and freaking, you know, do all this stuff here. None of this stuff.
All right, guys, we actually made pretty good on time here. So we're going to go over some solicitations here for you guys. We're going to go over the new DC comic solicitations first, and then we'll get on to the Marvel here. We're going to be showing.
You want to just do one of them today? We can do another one next week.
You want to do one of them today?
Yeah.
Sure. So let's go over the DC solicitations this week, guys. Or do you want to do Marvel? You have a preference?
Either or.
Okay. So, yeah. So we'll go over the DC solicitations for January 2023, guys. Let's just bring that up on the screen here. Just give me 1 second. So these just came out today.
Hey, break. You're sponsored by Heineken. I've been drinking out of these beer kegs.
Oh, nice. That's
bad, man.
Yeah, that's convenient. That's why you've been busting out the big mugs, eh?
Yeah, pretty handy.
So once again, shout out to comicreleases.com. That's usually the site that we go to when we show off these solicitations. I just think they do a good job. There's not like 1,000 pop-ups or some other bullshit. The page usually loads up pretty well compared to some of these other.
Give it a few minutes or a minute or so to load it up and it's all there. Love it.
Exactly. It gives you usually all the covers along with it. So yeah, it's a great site, a great resource to have, guys. And they are constantly updating the release dates as they change for things on their website as well. The guy's doing a good service to us comic fans who runs the site. So shout out to comicreleases.com. All right. So first up here in the single issues, Batman 131. Yes. Grabbing that.
Yes.
Yeah. So We're going to go over some of the books that are solicited for January 2023 for DC guys. We'll let
January might be my purge here too, so I'm gonna be trying to cut down on some issues, but we'll see.
All right, so you might see Chris saying no to a lot more here. It should be interesting to see. We'll have to keep each other in check, Chris. I'm good with that too. But yeah, Batman's gonna make the cut, that's for sure. So,
oh yeah,
Lazarus Planet. What the hell is this? Number 1. I have not looked at these solicits, so actually, these are gonna be a lot of new announcements to me as well. So, yeah, written by Mark Waid.
This is growing out of that Batman versus Robin. Batman versus Robin 4, the Lazarus pit erupts or something. And powers change and things are gonna. I might have to buy this, unfortunately, but
I might have to too. I didn't know what this was, but I like the writers on here. Yeah, Mark Waid's continuing on this. Gene Luen Yang, he's good. Okay, yeah, I might have to continue with this as well. Then, if this is the continuing story spinning out of Batman versus Robin, that has been good so far. So yeah, I might have to continue with this as well. All right.
Well, I know, but they're trying to weasel in that stupid Monkey Prince, I think, though.
Monkey King, yeah, that's who
whatever
Luen Yang writes, right? So I think that's probably why he's here. Is this a one shot?
No, I think it's a series.
Yeah, it doesn't say one shot anywhere, eh? 48 pages is the debut, though. That's a $6 first issue. Okay. Monkey Prince, yeah. Yeah, he's in this. Okay. All right. Nope. Lazarus Planet, Assault on Krypton. No, I'll read the main one. I'm not reading these titles.
Yeah, not getting suckered. Nope.
Assault on Krypton. That's what I mean. Maybe that is a one shot, that one, because this doesn't say one shot. These don't say one shot either. They can't all be fucking ongoings, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that much legs, Lazarus Planet. I'm glad I read the Robin series now, though, because it makes a lot more sense, all this Lazarus business that's what been going on. So, guys, if you haven't read that, there's not a lot of Damian fans out there. I'm aware of this fact, but the Joshua Williamson Robin series about Damian, like, I think they're just the first 12 issues, which is like the first 2 trades. If you read that, it really does give a lot more context with this whole Lazarus stuff that's been going on.
I don't know how they're going to bring Damian back from that, because he's pretty evil in this one.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Lazarus Planet, We Once Were Gods, number 1. Any interest in that? No, me neither. Wow, yeah. See, there's a whole bunch of them. Lazarus Planet, Legends Reborn, number 1. No.
No.
Monkey Prince 10. Batman versus Robin tie-in. Yeah, see? Yeah, so they are wrapping him in there.
Yeah, screw the Monkey Prince.
No, I'm good on that. Batman and the Joker, the deadly duo. Chris, are you in on this one?
I think I might be in on this. I don't think I've ordered it, though. So when that first one comes out, I might have to get you to pick me that up if you have it at your store.
Yeah, we'll talk.
But,
no, for sure.
Yeah.
Some interesting looking covers, though. Isn't
nice
that
cover.
just the Catwoman one or whatever you had today? It looks like the same style.
Perhaps.
No, I don't think it is, actually. It doesn't look like it by the names here. That's interesting. Cool. Nightwing 100. How about that? Nightwing 100. That's a cool one.
I was hoping for some better covers.
Not final cover. It's like some spicy.
Like that's supposed to be a throwback to some Batman Catwoman cover.
I actually like the idea behind this one, though. This it's the artist and the writer there, right? That's Tom Taylor, the one that's got his hand over his face there.
Oh.
So I believe that's what he looks. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. A work in progress cover. Yeah, I'm of course.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Of course, yeah, it's been great.
Wow.
This is a nice cover actually right here. I don't know if that's like a 1 in something variant.
Something's all wrong with his face.
Batman One Bad Day, Bane. Nope, not gonna pick that up. Not a huge
Maybe.
and not a huge. Well, no, I like Joshua Williamson actually. Yeah. No, I might read it digitally, but that's kind of how I've been. Which one came out this week? Penguin, I think, came out this week or something. I didn't check it out, but one of them came out this week. I didn't end up reading it, but Batman: The Adventures Continue season 3. No.
Nope.
This is kind of like, if you're a fan of the animated series, though, that's cool, guys. I think that's what that series is about. Are you sticking with Detective, or what are you doing here?
That might be what I'm dropping.
Yeah, I've dropped it already. So that's Detective Comics 1068. Always really nice covers for this series, though. They've been doing a good job on the covers for it. Always looks interesting. Batman Legends of Gotham number 1. No, I don't even know what that is. That's are these just like one shots about different people or something? I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn Romances number 1. What the hell?
I don't know. I didn't even see this one. Is that the one that's just all covers or no?
No, DC is proud to present a selection of 8 stories of rapscallion romance, prodigious passion, and undulating, unbridled affection. Tension builds as Apollo and Midnighter are captured by an unknown alien species who are determined to learn the secrets of their super soldier success. Harley Quinn gets caught in a scintillating fantasy. Yeah, just straight up romance comics, it seems like. No, I'm not getting this.
Yeah, pass.
No, I'm out. Action Comics 1051. You're continuing with this?
Yeah, I'll stick with Action Comics.
Oh, nice. Some nice covers here. That's for sure.
Nice cover. Like that's a good one.
Power Girl.
The Power Girl one's nice. I don't know if that's like a ratio cover or not though, but that's a nice cover. I haven't seen much Power Girl either.
No. Batman Superman World's Finest 11. Yeah, I'm sticking with
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a nice one. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Anyways. Let's see here. Justice Society of America. I'm picking this up. I think you're out.
Yeah,
right?
I'm out.
All right, I'm picking this one up. Stargirl, The Lost Children. No, but I'm gonna pick up the trade of this. I do want to read this, but DC Power Celebration #1. No. The Flash 791. No.
No.
The Flash 1 Minute War Special. No. Flash Facsimile Edition, or Facility, whatever, however you say that.
Yeah, no.
Reprints. Danger Street #2. Yes, I'm picking this up. Very much looking forward to this one. This is the new 12-issue Tom King kind of maxi series that he likes to do. This is going to be like a lot of weird, obscure DC characters apparently popping up in that one. Waller versus Wildstorm #2. No. Chris, no. Wildcats, no.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I only like Grifter. If it was a Grifter series, maybe.
Unless the series really wows me for some reason, but I don't think so.
I mean, I like Matthew Rosenberg, the guy who's writing it, but it's not enough to get me to buy into it because I didn't really read Wild. Like, I mean, I'm aware of it, and I came up through the '90s, but it's not like I'm like, ooh, Wildcats. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I think I have Wildcats #1, but
Swamp Thing Green Hell #1 second printing. So if anyone might remember, probably not. I fucking read this book and it came out like several months ago and then it just never came out again. Like this is from Jeff Lemire. This was a Black Label, one of those like magazine sized ones. I think it was only supposed to be like a 3-issue series. Yeah, 1 of 3. So it's been so long and it was abandoned that they are now, I guess, reprinting the first issue because they finally have said the second issue is, I think, going to be ready soon to come out. And I don't know why it's taken them so long, but here we are. So I'm not going to be picking this up. I already have the first issue, but I look forward to if they ever come out with the last 2. That'd be nice. Sandman Universe, Dead Boy Detectives, no. Batgirls, no. Batman Incorporated, no. Batman Gotham Knights, Gilded City, no. Batman Audio Adventures, I think it's based off the podcast, no. Black Adam #7. No. Blue Beetle Graduation Day #3. No. Catwoman. You still with this?
Yeah, I kind of gotta like those covers.
Yeah, they always get you with the covers. Some nice ones.
Yeah.
What else? DC Horror Sergeant Rock versus Army of the Dead. No.
I think by then.
Yeah, I might read this digitally, but I'm done picking up the issues. Look at these covers, though. Look at that one.
Oof, I might have to get a Hitler cover.
Yeah, look at that. Those are awesome. These are some.
Yeah, they are nice covers, though.
Yeah, Fables, no. GCPD, The Blue Wall, no. While there's the fact that there's like 80% Batman books and I'm not interested in like 60% of them, like I'm happy about that. But the fact that of the matter is I still do buy a lot of them and there's still so many more I have no interest in.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just like, how can I still be buying like 5 or 6 of them and there's like 20 others that I'm not buying? I'm like, holy shit. Harley Quinn 26. Yes, I'm still reading this.
Excuse me. Yeah, I might be on this.
Harley Quinn animated series. No. I Am Batman. No. Looney Tunes 270. No. Mad Magazine. No. Punchline. Are you picking this up?
Yeah, let them go for this.
Oh, wow. Look at these covers for this one, too.
No.
Look at that one. That's
Yeah,
nice.
hope that's not a ratio one, 'cause that's a nice one.
It doesn't look like it. Yeah, this is the ratio one. So yeah, that's not a ratio one. The other one that we just showed. Nice. Batman Scooby Doo. No. Human Target 11. Yes. This series is
Come near the end. That's 12 issues, right?
yeah. Yeah. 12 issues. So yeah, I'll be picking this up. Tim Drake Robin number 5. No. Titans United Blood Pack. You're grabbing this now, or you're just reading on a line?
Probably not, but let's see. Who's the usually got a special cover? Oh, it's Robin, anyways. No.
Wonder Woman 795. No. Good covers though as well on this one.
It's not a bad cover.
Yeah. This Sona, whatever this artist is on a lot of them here. That's the name that it has written down there. Is that David Nakayama? I don't know. Looks like that's it. Actually, not too much this month. Actually, there's a lot of things ending.
Not too bad.
Not too
If
bad.
you want to do the Marvel, then we can pop the Marvel in if you like.
Sure. That's what I thought. We were doing good on time. So yeah, all right. What the hell? Let's give us a second, guys. Here, I'll bring it up. Yeah, no, we did good on time here today. Actually, I didn't chat everybody's ear off, so I didn't have much to say about all my books today. So that's good. There we go. We did 21 books in the span of an hour. I thought that's pretty good, honestly. All right, Marvel solicitations here. So not too much on DC side, so that's good.
I know that loaded up pretty quick though too.
We say that now, and then a couple months from now, we're gonna try to keep ourselves in line here, though, guys. Amazing Spider-Man 17, yes.
Yes, that variant cover too. I don't know, but that A cover's not bad either.
Yeah, that's an homage right there for John.
Yeah.
He's doing his father's. He's doing an homage to his father. That's cool.
No.
I might have to pick that one up. But I like these other one because these dark web ones are all supposed to connect, right? So
I am.
Yeah, I think that's because if you looked at the other covers that came the month before,
so the webs all connect. You just have different Spider-Man kind of floating around everywhere.
All the same color scheme. So I think this might be one of those rare times I pick up both of these covers, to be honest with you, if that's the case. So we'll see. Amazing Spider-Man 18. Yeah, see, I think this is like the end of it, of the pictures that they got going for the dark.
Yeah.
I think that's the case, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a nice cover too. This is a homage to the
yeah, well, this I'm getting for sure.
This is Stegman homaging Romita, because Romita Jr. is the one that did this cover during Straczynski's run, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is it 600 or 500? It's like oh no, this is 18 homage, number 8. This has been done before. Okay, so I guess they're just doing recreations of all the Romita stuff. This has been also done, I think, by his son as well, but this is a Stegman version of that.
Yeah, that's
covers, man. These are nice covers. That's going to be hard. If I don't know, I don't want to get them all, but those are going to be hard, man. That's going to be hard. That they got me for once on the covers on those ones. I'll give you that. Gold Goblin, no. Mary Jane Black Cat, yes.
Yes.
Venom, you?
Yes.
Yep. Take a look at these.
And even that one, that's not a bad cover.
Yeah. Dark Web Miss Marvel, no. Dark Web X-Men, yes. I'm reading this.
Yeah, I think I might be on a no on this. I may read them online though.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do like them.
Yeah, I'll be picking those up. I already pre-ordered the first 2, so I might as well grab the third. Avengers War Across Time, 1 of 5.
No. All they've been doing is fighting across time. What the hell? They need more time?
Scarlet Witch number 1. No.
Think about this one. I'm leaning towards no.
I might check it out online digitally and then maybe pick up the trade if it's good. But Steve Orlando, the writer on this, I have not connected with anything he's written. This guy, like, I really dislike the writer on this book. I want to read a Scarlet Witch book, but let's say I've read like 10 things by the guy, and I've kept trying because they keep giving this guy gigs at both companies. It seems like
like good stuff.
I've tried his stuff over. There's maybe like one or two things, let's say, out of like 10 things I've tried that I've liked of his. So like his hit rate is not good with me. So like, I do want to read a Scarlet Witch series though, but like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Nice covers too. Look at the covers. These are some nice covers on this. Yeah, I don't know. I might just check it out digitally and, maybe he'll prove me wrong.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Wasp 1 of 4. No. Joe Fixit. No, I kind of want to read that. Maybe I'll read that digitally. I do kind of want to check that out. I do like that character, but I don't know. No for you?
Nah, no.
Iron Man. Yes. I'm reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is number 1 or number 25 or
It's number 2. This is
number 2.
Yeah, in December, I guess it relaunches. That was in the last solicitations. So this is Jerry Duggan writing Iron Man. Yeah, I'll be reading this. Miles Morales. No.
I think I'm getting that. There's that homage cover, the second one.
Oh,
Gotta get that.
that is a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, very cool. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, no. Monica Rambeau, Photon, no.
No.
Shang-Chi, another number 1, no. They've relaunched that series like 5 times.
Yeah, I like. Yeah.
Miracle Man. Again, I'm gonna be reading this digitally at the very least. The first issue was good, so I'm on board. So
I'll hold my judgment until I read that first issue. I got the first 2 coming at least.
Yeah, so
I think the cover though, but
yeah. Then they got one of those classic, the toy variant covers that they do, like with it looks like in the blister pack. It's kind of interesting. They did a bunch of those for all the Marvel books too. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Avengers 64. Yes for both of us. You were in this.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I'm waiting for this run to end. Then I'm gonna drop Avengers, but
yeah,
see.
Yeah, I'm reading this digitally, but I am reading the Avengers Assemble because I'm interested to see how it ends. And I guess that means I'm also going to be reading this issue of Avengers Forever. I thought this was only 12 issues. What the hell?
I thought so too. I was surprised to see the 13th one. I was hoping it was only 12 because I wanted to drop it as well.
It must be because of the fact that the Avengers Assemble is still going on. I guess they thought they should just extend it for the period of time the storyline goes on for, right? So, yeah. All right. So I guess I'm reading that too. Sins of Sinister. Yes, I'm on board for this. I'm on board. Yeah, you too?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Sinister has been one of the more interesting aspects of the X books lately. So for sure, gonna check this one out. Ooh, that's a nice cover. All right. X Force. No.
Yeah, no.
X Terminators. Are you sticking with that?
Yeah, I'll finish this one out. What, 4 or 5 issues?
Okay. Immortal X-Men. Yes. And I think it might be the last issue until they relaunch it to, what is it? Improbable.
Immoral X-Men or something after.
Yeah, Immoral. So, I mean, it does say, oh no, it just says Sweet Dreams aren't made of this on this one. It's going to end soon. It might be 12 issues, but it's going to end soon. So I'm definitely still reading this one. Yeah, big things I think are going to happen in this book. Especially with Sinister. He's been a part of that book, right? So, Legion of X, no. Marauders, no.
No.
X-Men, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been excellent. Okay. Sabretooth and the Exiles, no. X-Men Red, no.
No.
Wolverine, are you reading this at this point, or?
I think I'm picking up like maybe the December or the November, December issue where he gets stuck in the pit.
Okay.
But we'll see how that goes.
Extreme X-Men, no. X-Men Legends, no. Murder World Wolverine. I remember you said you're out on the Murder World.
I am not going into those more Murder Worlds. There's a whole bunch. I thought it was just like a 1 issue here.
Okay. Yeah.
But there's like Murder World Avengers, Murder World Spider-Man now. That's Murder World Wolverine.
Yeah, no.
I'll probably read them online though.
Yeah, Doctor Strange Fall Sunrise. I'm all in on this one.
Yeah, I'm out.
Looking forward to this. Fantastic Four number 3. Yes, depending on how the first issue is. I'm really waiting on this new issue to come out. I think it's supposed to be coming out this month, I think, or November maybe. Anyways, I need to read this first issue to decide if I'm still on board. But yes, let's say yes for now. Tiger Division. You're off of the Fantastic Four?
I could be out, yeah.
Okay. Tiger Division, no. Secret Invasion, again, no. Deadpool.
No.
You in on this?
Maybe. I got that first one. See how it goes.
Okay. Planet Hulk, Worldbreaker, no. Hulk, yes.
Yes, nice cover.
Ryan Utley's writing and drawing this.
Yeah, I thought it was big news there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I was reading about this online the other day. I mean, it's all rumors at this point. I don't know what the hell is going on with Donny Cates. Like, apparently he's got some shit going on in his life. So, like, I hope everything's okay in that sense. But
yeah.
I just hope he gets back on these books at one point because, like, the fact that that all his books now are being taken over by other writers temporarily, but what can he do? It's real.
Well, I think even with Thor, I think he wrote the story, but someone else is sort of fleshing it out,
Plotted it and they're scripting it.
Yeah, like it's still his idea in there, but it's not really him kind of doing all the dirty work.
Hulk Facsimile edition, no. 347, Fast a Mile. Avengers 2, Wonder Woman and Beast, Marvel Tales. I don't know what the hell.
I know what that's about.
Yeah, no. Collected for the first time. How is that possible? Okay. Peter Parker and Miles Morales, Spider-Man Double Trouble 3 of 4. No. Spider-Man 4. Yes,
Yeah,
for now. I don't know about that one. The first issue was
no.
yeah. Spider-Man The Lost Hunt, no. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man, no. Carnage. You missed the boat.
Yeah, no. Maybe I'll just read a whole bunch back to back once they're all out again.
Captain America Symbols.
This one here, that second cover with Emma Frost there.
It's your boy Phil Noto doing that one.
I know. And I might be picking up this issue, see what's going on with Cap.
Yeah. Well, otherwise, yeah, I'm out on both the Cap books here. Wakanda, no. Namor, no. After that first issue, no thanks. Black Panther 13. Are you still sticking with Savage Avengers?
I think so. I got another homage cover there. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, that's the X-Men. That's the
Days
X-Men.
of Future Past.
That's right. Oh, that's kind of cool. See, I hate this fucking book. I don't want to read
I hate it too. Like, I want to get rid of it, but they freaking just keep on doing crazy stuff.
So looking at the description in the solicits for this issue too, Doom 2099 is going to be in the mix. Now, like, I'm going to have to read this digitally at the very least now.
At the very least.
God damn it. Okay, All Out Avengers number 5.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Got Spider-Man there on the cover. That's probably going to suck me in, but I'm going to try and say a hard no.
Yeah, it's got your boy Greg Land on the art. You like him.
I do.
Captain Marvel 45. You sticking with this?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go. I'll take it down.
The Brood.
I gotta like the Brood, but there's still some nice covers there too. Hopefully the last one's a variant, so I can't buy it. But even the first cover with Rogue as a Brood or something, can't go wrong with
that. Thor 30 now being Toran Grunbeck is writing it, but we got some Thanos stuff happening in here. So
yeah, I think got a couple. I don't know why whatever Jane Foster covers there, but
yeah. Strange Academy Finals. Yes, I'm picking this up.
Should, but I'm not.
Ultraman. No. Strange number 10. Yes.
Yes.
Sorcerer Supremes Unite. Okay, maybe they're all coming together. Oh, yeah, there he is. Steven's back. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yes, for sure. Ghost Rider. No. Moon Knight. No. She-Hulk 10. You sticking with this?
Yeah, I'll stick with She-Hulk.
I'm sticking with it in trade. It's been very good. Same with Moon Knight. I like both those books. I just don't read any issues. Daredevil, of course. Oh, homage for Daredevil. Is that the Frank Miller cover right there? Whoa, Frank White. Yeah, I gotta pick that up. I gotta pick that one up. That's all me right there.
I still might go with the A cover though.
That is also a nice cover though, with Punisher in the background.
Yeah.
Fuck, these homage covers this month are killing me. I don't know
what. They are good ones, man. All of them, all around.
For once, one of their cover gimmicks for once has got me actually this month. This is good. Yeah. Midnight Suns. No, fuck off with that book. Punisher. Yes. Yeah. I think that's taken a turn for the better, honestly. I'm really excited for the Punisher right now. Between that, him and
I still thought I was gonna fight Ares. Ares is like freaking, that's like fighting Thor.
He's crushing his helmet here.
I know.
I don't know. Predator number 6. No, I've dropped that. Alien, no. Star Wars. I think that's it now. Star Wars.
Yeah, once you hit Star Wars.
Yeah, we're out on the
Star Wars is like a whole other division for them. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, pretty much. It's owned by Disney, right? What do you want?
Yeah.
All right. So that's gonna do it for the Marvel and DC solicitations, guys. If there's anything else worth mentioning out of the other publishers, we'll quickly mention it next episode next week. Yeah, great episode though. Yeah, a lot of great talk about comics and everything else here as always. But let's go over what we're gonna be grabbing next week before we wrap up here. Chris, you got your list ready?
I got the list here. Let's see. We got Arc 6, Iron Cat 5, Strange 7, Amazing Spider-Man 12, Venom 12, Exterminators 2, Action Comics 1048, Batman Beyond the White Knight 6, Sergeant Rock 2, DC versus Vampires 10, Deathstroke 14, Detective Comics 1065, holy moly, and Quinn 23, I think.
Yeah, big week. As
you big list again. I'll see what comes in, but I think those are the ones I think I got ordered.
As you can see, that's why we're trying to scale down the list here, guys. Yeah, another big week for me as well. This was a fucking huge week this week. Not as big as this week. Batman Beyond White Knight 6, Catwoman Lonely City 4, which is the last issue of that. I do have pre-ordered the second issue still of DC Horror Sergeant Rock. Yeah, I got that as well. DC versus Vampires 10, Harley Quinn 23, Human Target 8, Amazing Spider-Man 12, Axe Judgment 6, Firepower number 24, Strange 7, Strange Academy Finals 1, and Vanish number 2.
Ooh, Vanish number 2. Shit.
Yeah, so if you
pick that up for me,
let me know. And that's going to be our list for next week, guys. What we're looking forward to picking up and talking about next week. Tune in as always. Hear us talk about those. And now we're coming to the part of the show where we talk about our favorite book of the week.
I got mine.
It's a hard one for me. I got a couple of candidates this week, man, but go ahead. I might need a minute. Go ahead and say what.
All right. Well, I'll drop. Mine was Thor. There, you got a little Thor Venom, nice cover.
Thor, nice. Okay.
I like seeing Thor get powered up there, and the hammer versus hammer action, and I don't know. Maybe now that I say that out loud, it doesn't sound so good.
It gave me the name of this episode, so thank you for that. Hammer versus hammer action. All right, guys, I got to give it to Deadly Class. I got to. I know I didn't tell you what happened in this book, but this book has been in my life for a long time now. I loved every moment of it. He stuck the landing on like a 7-8 year journey of this book, and I loved every minute of it. This was a great. There was nothing that was going to dethrone. I'm just so happy that it actually was good, because it would have been so sad if I had to come here today and I was going to be honest with you guys, like, wow, they really shit the bed in this fucking last. It was good. I really enjoyed it. So, despite me giving Public Domain a 5, and Chris has no heart, but it was definitely. Deadly Class all the way. Rogues was another good contender this week, though. That ended off really well as well. So, yeah. So good stuff. Good week. I really enjoyed it this week. So, all right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. As always, make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time. Later.
All right. Cheers.